guys? Okay, so I told you that I would be back for more videos. This is just kind of like my pregnancy update video. Well, actually it's my first pregnancy video because I've been so sick and lazy that I haven't even begun to film one. I've been wanting to do this since I was I think 11, 12 weeks or something like that. And I just hadn't gotten around to it because I just had a bunch of stuff going on. As you can tell from my last video, I kind of gave you a little bit of background on what's going on. But it's nice, bright and early. I think it's like 10 o'clock or whatever. And I actually feel pretty good. I don't know if that's part of being in the second trimester, but I feel really amazing. I just have a release of endorphins, and it's really strange, but it feels good. The first thing I wanted to talk about was morning sickness, because they say that after, I think it's your 13th week, or after kind of that first week or halfway through the week of your second trimester, that first week you're supposed to get a relief from morning sickness. I haven't, because I got sick yesterday. I don't know if it's just because I smelt something that I didn't like, which I did, or if it was something I ate, which I don't think so. I think it was just straight up I just wasn't feeling good. So I don't know when that relief is supposed to kick in, but I hope it does very, very soon, because I am so sick of throwing up. As for the tiredness, I'm still kind of tired. I feel like a zombie. That hasn't really went away. I mean, I have boost of energy in the morning, but by 12, 1 o'clock it completely wears off. Completely. I'll just be knocked out on the couch and I'll be taking naps. Yeah, so I'm still tired. I had an ultrasound about, what was it, on Monday, and I got to see my baby for the first time, because the last time I saw Moon Pie, it was just a little dot, and it wasn't really even worth seeing because it didn't look like anything, and I was disappointed, why would you even show me that? But it was just kind of to verify pregnancy at the time when I was in the hospital. So yeah, I actually got a bit of a gender reveal. My ultrasound technician, she's really, really sweet. I wish I remembered her name. I hope I get her every time. But with Kaiser, that's probably not realistic. But she was 98% accurate that we were having a boy. And I was completely happy, because it was oh my gosh, everybody's been asking me what I wanted, and I've just been, I just want a healthy baby. I don't have a preference. I always secretly wanted a boy. I didn't really want a girl. I'm kind of not the girly type. I didn't want a girl. I wanted a boy. So I was really, really happy. I have the ultrasound pictures. I'm going to upload those to this video so that you can see them. He was actually really funny during the ultrasound, because the technician was oh wow, she was yeah, your baby likes to sit right on your bladder, he's just chilling there. And I was yeah, tell me about it, I could feel it, it's probably why I pee so much. She was yeah, and it's probably a little bit worse because you're small, so there's not a little space in there. And I was oh great. And he was just every time he would get comfortable, the ultrasound technician, because they have to move around and maneuver and take their measurements and do their pictures and the amniotic fluid and stuff like that, and he was just not happy because she would apply pressure. If you're watching this video and you're not pregnant and you've never had a baby, you've never had any kind of ultrasound for anything, what they do to get the baby to move, say this is my stomach and this is the little monitor that they have, they kind of just press and jiggle it a little bit, and then they move it around and jiggle it a little bit to get the baby to move around so they can do their measurements and their pictures and things like that. And every time she did it, he would move for 3 seconds, and he would flutter around, and then he'd float right back to the same spot that he liked to be you know, like on my bladder. He uses it like a freaking pillow. Like, it's the strangest thing. It's funny, and he is not happy that that the technician kept like waking him up or disturbing his peace. So, yeah, it was really funny. I felt really, really good to see my baby for the first time with everything that I was and am going through. It was just like really encouraging, and it made me happy. And honestly, like, I think that's where like my kick of happiness came in at, was just like seeing him for the first time and being like, oh my god, like, that's my little boy, like, this is real. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, because that's all that awesomeness, was movement. Like, I'm actually really starting to feel movement. I asked the nurse and the technician about it, and they said it was completely normal. They say that sometimes first-time moms don't feel movement at all just because they're not used to what it feels like, but this girl can feel it. I noticed that when I'm like still, or when I'm laying down or just sitting, like, I feel like little light flutters and floating around. It's really strange. Sometimes if I turn too hastily while I'm asleep, I feel little flutters, because I guess he doesn't like that, and he just like bounces around. But yeah, I could feel it. As far as like cravings and things like that, I had craved Mexican food like the day of my ultrasound, and I just had to get some. So I still have cravings, but it's not anything like extreme. It's not like, oh my gosh, I have to run out and go get this. It's just more like, oh, this sounds really good. But yeah, I had a craving for Mexican food. I had a big ass quesadilla. I wanted some beans and rice. I kind of still do, but it's okay. I might not get it anyways. Things that I have been doing since school has not started for me yet, and I'm so freaking bored because I wanted to take summer classes and I signed up for them, but I still have to do my, what is it that I have to do? I totally forgot. I have to do my assessment testing because I didn't do assessment testing for my science part of my degree. So I signed up to do that, and I'm going to be doing that on Tuesday so that I can take science courses online, because I have been instructed to kind of take it easy with this pregnancy, not necessarily by doctors, but just with my mom and my dad and just my whole family. They were like, just take online classes, get things set up at home, because you're not going to be able to have this kind of peace, and you're going to be too tired running around, which I completely agree with. So I have signed up for online classes. I was out of school for a very, very long time. I missed like 2 semesters. So I'm really excited to get back. Whatever you do, girls, do not drop out of school. So, yeah. Other words, I'm really happy to be back in school. Like, it's amazing. Another thing that I have done is, I actually purchased onesies the other day. They're like really, really plain, but they were on sale. And they were only like $5 for 5 onesies, so it's just like $1 a onesie, and I just couldn't pass it up. They're like pale blue. They're kind of big, but I'll show them to you anyways. They look like this. Just kind of plain. Nothing spectacular about it. But that's all for this week. I'll be back maybe next week or the week after, just depending on what I'm doing, because I've actually got a pretty busy schedule because I'm doing a cancer walk this Saturday. So that's my mom, because she previously had cancer. This is done. This is week 14 and kind of a rehash of 13. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna probably like make myself breakfast and take a nap, because that's like what I do now since school hasn't started yet. So I'll see you guys next time. Love ya.